So, it's a very special day today, Brad. Very special day today. You know what day it is?
I believe it's Thursday.
It's International Women's Day today. It's
No,
a
it's
day
not.
where we
That was
celebrate.
yesterday.
Well,
Jesus.
I
You
look on the
can't
internet.
celebrate women late. You're going to get in trouble.
Well, I was reading it on the internet, so it was all the Americans are celebrating International Women's Day. So I
No,
didn't know about
yeah.
it till today.
It's the 8th of March. That was yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
well, yeah. I thought to celebrate it, I just made a list of all women's greatest achievements in the last 12 months. I thought we could go through it.
12 months. Okay,
Last 12
sure.
months, it's just to celebrate the achievements of women on this very special occasion.
Okay, yeah, I'm nervous, but go right ahead.
Peace sells, but who's buying? Is the second studio album by American thrash metal band Megadeth. Yeah. So,
Megadeth.
did you enjoy the album? Yeah.
Megadeth.
You
I'd
listen to
like
Megadeth?
before we get into how I feel about the album, can you give me the backstory on the Megadeth Metallica schmozzle? Because in my 10,000 hours of research, I couldn't find anything, but I figured you'd know because you're like the guru of metal.
Yeah. Okay. So Dave Mustaine was the lead guitar player before Kirk Hammett joined Metallica.
Oh, okay.
He was very fighty and boozy and a bit of a bad attitude. He would, get into fights and punch the others out, but I also hear James was fairly similar as well at the time.
Is this when they were like 15 and shit?
Yes, 18,
Okay.
17, 18.
Hmm.
But the big incident that happened was they were driving to a gig in a van. It was a long night drive. Dave was meant to be driving. Dave decided he was bored, so he started drinking heavily while he was driving, and the others were sleeping in the back. He nearly killed everybody in a car crash when he fell asleep at the wheel. So the next morning, they woke him up and said, "You're out of the band. See you later." And Dave's been blaming Metallica ever since.
All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of to-do about Dave claims he wrote a lot of big Metallica songs, right up to like Master of Puppets. He says these songs with his riffs in there.
Uh-huh.
Some of it's been settled out of court. We don't really know the ins and outs of it. But,
Right.
yeah. But Dave's always had a chip in the shoulder being not as big as Metallica, and also seems to be angry at Metallica because he got kicked out and very hurt by it, but he was being a fucking idiot, so what do you expect?
Was Dave driving the bus that carried Cliff?
No, that was a few years later. They had another bus incident where the driver says he hit black ice. The band, I believe, didn't really buy that story, but the bus flipped onto its side, and Cliff was sleeping in a bunk. He slid out the window when the bus turned over, and the bus landed on him. And
Wow.
Yeah.
It'll teach him for sleeping.
I'll teach him. And apparently I think it was James's bunk. It was one of the others' bunk, but they came along.
Right.
They were going to kick him out of the bunk and say, "Get your own bed," but they decided to let him sleep. So I think it was
so
James.
adorable. Leave him asleep.
Yeah.
I mean, the world could have been saved from some atrocious Metallica if James had been on that bunk. Oh, do you hear the silence, listeners? Do you hear the hate boiling over?
Just like to list again women's greatest accomplishments in the last 12 months. Okay, back to the podcast. Metallica are awesome.
Yeah. So, we're not here to talk about Metallica. We're talking about the original Metallica. The guy who created Metallica Dave Mustaine's.
No, he did. He did. No, no, no. He joined Lars and James later on.
No. I'm sure it was all Dave. Yeah, I'm sure.
According to Dave, it's all Dave,
Yeah.
but
I'm sure
in
Dave
reality,
created the yeah.
apparently the way James used to stand with his legs apart and crouched over the microphone, Dave has said, "Oh, that was mine. I had to stop doing it because James copied me."
Dave, shut up, Dave. Yeah.
James stole my stage presence.
Shut up, Dave.
I'm not
James
Dave.
has got the same long hair as me. He's got the same bangs as me. Shut up, Dave.
Yeah. But there's a big rivalry traditionally between Megadeth and Metallica fans. I've always enjoyed both bands, but let's face it, I think Megadeth had bigger dips creatively in their lifespan. There are albums that are fantastic, and then there's stuff where it's grit your teeth.
Sounds a lot limited. I mean, does Megadeth have a Saint Anger?
I don't know if they've been hit that hard. They did
The lows are low, but they're not quite that low.
I know, like Metallica did the Black Album. Megadeth did try and copy that and try and do a more mass appeal version of Megadeth, and it just didn't work out for them. Megadeth have always had quite well produced records, except for the first one. I quite like the sound of this album, Peace Sells, but it is slightly muddier. They've done remixes where they bring clarity out a bit more. Remastered versions.
Yeah, look, I mean, to be fair, I'm not I'd never really followed Megadeth, right? My kids have got...
You mean not at all? You mean not at all?
Yeah, by not really, I do mean not at all.
Zero. Absolute zero.
Absolutely not once.
Yeah.
Heard them. Knew of them, but hadn't heard them. But prior to your recommendation of Peace Sells, but who's buying? My kids had actually found their way to Symphony of Destruction. That song had been getting some play.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, Jesus, what am I raising here? But at the same time, I listened to it and went, oh, yeah, okay, I understand. So then when you recommended this, I thought, oh, okay, great. Well, let's give Megadeth a whirl, right? So I chucked it on, put it on the old CD player. Actually, I didn't. Spotified it. Hit play, and away it goes. I forget the name of track one. But I was like, it was kind of what I was expecting. Overall, sort of tone.
Wake Up Dead.
Wake Up Dead. Yeah, that's it. And I was like, it gets into it, and it's got the riff, and I was like, all right, here we go. Okay, the drum tone. Oh yeah, the bass is pretty good. Yeah, all right, yeah, okay, I get it. And the mix is good, but then the singing. It's Dave that sings, right? Dave comes in with his singing, and the singing's good, but the production.
No one has ever said that before.
No, for the style. But the production of the voice is fucked. You know what? Like, the music underneath, I thought was solid. But then the way the vocals sat on top did not feel right. You know, like it just didn't fit the mix. The first track, you get into it and you get the feel for it and you get the singing and you're like, okay, here we go. I get what I'm in for. And then there's like that, like a little groove change in the middle of the song where it starts going dun, 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 dun. I was like, oh, fuck, this is all right. This is good. Wow.
He's got some riffs. Yeah.
Not expecting to like this. And it hit me as very Zeppelin-y, right? I was like, oh,
really?
Shit, the music feels a bit, it felt like, oh, God, Achilles' Last Stand. You're not a Zeppelin fan, so you won't get this, but Achilles' Last Stand.
re-listening to it, I noticed a lot more odd time signatures and meters all through this that I didn't really notice when I was, a young kid first starting out. But very, very progressive, quite a bit more complex than I even gave credit for it many years ago, where I thought, wow, this is really complex. But great grooves.
Good grooves. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's singing about. Like, I didn't really pull up lyric sheets or anything.
Wake Up Dead is about he's been off rooting a girl and he's coming home to his main girlfriend, and if he wakes her up, she's going to figure out he's been rooting someone else and she's going to kill him in the night while he sleeps.
Sounds fair. Sounds like a strong woman's achievement.
Well, she didn't do it, so another failure on woman's part.
Yeah, didn't catch him.
Yeah. Chicks. Yeah, chicks. So carry on.
What was I carrying on with?
You like the song?
I reckon this band, that first song, I did like, fuck this, like we'll just drop straight into it. This is another one of those albums where I enjoyed it for about 5 songs. And then I was like, ugh, I've had enough. You know?
Did you make it to the end? My Last Words.
I listened to it all.
Okay. Oh, that's new.
The music ones are easy. It's the films, that I struggle with. And our constant listeners understand that.
Our constant listeners know you struggle to make it through the end of albums as well.
The constant listeners know that you're the professional and
exactly.
I'm just the ear candy.
Well, I wouldn't say that. So B-Cells, who's buying? Yep, you got through the first song, you got through the second song. What'd you think? The Conjuring?
Yep, Conjuring, I thought came on too quick, all right? I liked the first song so much, I was like, oh, it's done already. And it's into the next one.
Actually, who cares what you think? I got to recap the first song. Wake Up Dead, what a riff fest. So just riff after riff after riff. And so many cool riffs in it. Like, that's what I thought back in the day is, man, this guy just writes a riff, doesn't he? One after the other. Solid. Very fast, technical, got a groove. The singing is something that you just got to deal with. It's just Dave. He's nasally. You just sort of got to get over it.
But it's very, this is of its time. It's very 80s. You could see this shit going down well at Castle Donington and fitting in with Lemmy and all the rest of those cunts, like of its time.
Well, they're still doing it like 40 years later.
But with better production? Or
yeah, they are a band that has quite superb production. Yeah. A lot of their albums sound fantastic. Yeah, better. Like this, their first album. I think they got like $8,000 to record it, and it sounds like a piece of shit. And the songs aren't exactly anything you want to write home about. The second album, they got 48 grand. They got onto a bigger label. Sounds much better. But by the time they got to Rust in Pieces, started sounding pretty amazing. Lots of great. There was a period there where they had a guy named Max Norman producing their records, and everything sounded fucking fantastic. Really, it's great.
You know what? When I was around at your place, we watched Old Man Dave playing Symphony for Destruction at some, I don't know, radio show or something in the 2020s. He's like the Bob Dylan of metal. Yeah, I didn't understand a fucking word he said. He's just too old. He doesn't give a shit. But he's just getting it done anyway. And it still seemed very metal. And it still seemed good. But he was just like... But it worked.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Because,
you're just
there for the riffs, right?
You're there for the riffs with Megadeth.
Yeah. Metallica.
You're not, you're not, it's not, no one's listening to Megadeth for the soaring vocals or the dexterity of his voice. You know.
Yeah, yes, you say that, and I feel like Megadeth would be better with a chick singer. You know, like they'd be like Heart or That's All I've Got for chick, like rock bands. I think if he wrote in the background and then they had like a I don't know, Marie Fredriksson, the dead singer of Roxette. That'd be freaking awesome, don't you think? How's that for a supergroup?
No, no,
Oh,
no.
shame.
No. He does
I'm
get
gonna
his
look that
daughter
up.
on stage every now and then. She wants to be a country and western singer. She gets up, she sings one of their.
Tree.
Whoa, she is one. Thank you.
Oh,
But
a country.
yeah,
Could you imagine
yeah.
that?
She
Like a
sings
tree.
a tout le monde, one of their more rock
Right.
ballady kind of songs about suicide. But she sings
Oh,
that.
sure it's beautiful.
Nothing to write home about, to be honest.
Mm.
But there you go. You can check that out, see what you think. Tout le monde. What do we got?
Right.
Peace sells, but who's buying? Title track. You gotta love that song. That song's
But who's buying?
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just
What do
more
you
of the same.
mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I got
don't
through
get-
that, and after that song, I just kind of switched off to the tone, to the
Wow, that
wall
song's
of.
fucking awesome.
Oh,
One of the
look,
best songs.
it's. I mean, you know, it's memorable. But does peace sell? I think it
Yeah.
does. I think war
Actually-
sells.
Actually comes from a quote someone said about peace sells, but who's buying? Or some fucking thing. And he went, that's a lyric.
You know what sells, Dan?
Sex.
Titties.
Big black
Titties.
cock. 14 inches.
Well,
Just smashed up between your ribs.
I don't know. Like if I saw an advertisement for Coca-Cola and it was a bottle of Coke and then right next to it was just a big, hard black cock.
14 inches.
I'd buy Coke. I don't think I'd
You'd
buy
be
it.
straight after that black cock immediately. You just
I'd be
wouldn't
like,
even.
if that's what Coke's got, and then they're selling Sprite and it's just the big Caucasian cock, and then mellow yellow. Mellow yellow.
It's,
Never just leave it. Yeah,
oh,
I'm not buying fizzy drinks anymore. I think
in a smaller glass, isn't
it's just a shot glass.
it? Does it mean it's not good? Just
It might be a very wide glass, but yeah,
I don't
No.
think so.
yes. But I think feminine sex sells. This is. I mean, this might be divisive, but you don't see a lot of like men and budgie smugglers running along the, you know, with their cock and balls bouncing around to sell a TV show, do you?
No, but you get Brad Pitt takes his shirt off on a roof and all the ladies go, oh, fucking hell.
Oh, fuck it. I slipped off my seat. Fuck, man.
Jason Momoa turns up out of the ocean dripping wet.
Oh,
Titties.
it's not the only thing that's dripping wet.
Titties just sort of, I don't know, doing little titty shrugs, and the chicks are like, oh, fucking hell.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why the
That's all
chicks
they
sound
need.
like drunk fucking Englishmen in the pub.
Oh,
Fucking hell.
fucking
me a
Jason
pint, mate.
Momoa. Oh, get him up there. Fuck.
Like a rat up a drain pipe.
What were we talking about?
Sex sells, but
No.
who's buying
Oh,
it? But it's peace
right.
sells. Yeah.
Sure. Mm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man, look. Whoa. Fucking Daniel Radcliffe. Whoa.
Oh,
Maybe
he's
not.
short but skinny.
Oh, he's He's got glasses occasionally. Whoa.
Maybe not. I think it's all about Hermione in those movies. Yeah.
Oh, let's not go there, you sick old man. Only in the last one. You're only allowed to appreciate Hermione in the last one. And even then, it's probably borderline. So we'll move along swiftly. Whoa.
No one's going, oh, Ron Weasel.
Oh, look at that redhead.
Oh, little ginger cunt. Oh. Yeah.
I think we just lost 80% of our listeners.
I don't know.
Why aren't they talking about tits? I came here for the tits.
Dave Mustang's got a good ginger head on him.
Does he?
Oh, he's a ginger.
He's still rocking the bangs though, isn't he? He's sticking to his look.
Yeah.
It's like, my mummy used to cut it this way and I'm keeping it this way.
Yeah, he's solidly stuck in the 80s, I think.
Yeah. I mean, look, you get the great artists, whether it's Bowie or even the Beatles. I'm going to throw Madonna in there. They change it up, right? Every sort of 2 or 3 years, here's a new look. Let me try this out. And that gives them longevity. Well, maybe that's part of it. But then you get someone like Dave. He's just like, fuck it. Day one. This is me. I'm not changing my pants. Not cutting my hair.
I'm 60 years old. I'm not going to stop getting a perm now.
Yeah.
It's like when people complained about Metallica cut their hair about the load region. Good move. Like, they kind of went, okay, the 80s is, okay, but we carried that 80s thing through the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just cut our hair and become a little bit more modern here, okay? Let's just, progress a little. Wear, I don't know, a little bit of color on the weekend. Megadeth? Dave Mustaine used to be a fashionable young man. He used to, he wasn't in the black jeans parade. He used to wear white shirts and jeans and he used to be a fashionable guy, and then he just got stuck,
Wow. I guess once you find your look, though, and maybe he's got like a stylist that just says, no, Dave, nothing else works for you. Get the perm. Maybe he gets like a commission every time Dave gets a perm.
He was, believe it or not, a handsome man at one point. He was an awkward teen. He grew into his looks. He was a handsome guy. He dated Belinda Carlisle one date, I think. Didn't last long. But, he was another ginger hottie. Oh. But,
the red plague.
Yeah. But,
gingivitis.
Yeah. Ginger snatch. But
well, not on Dave. It's like a ginger nut.
Well, let's not judge. I mean, has he given us his pronouns? I'm not sure. Who knows?
Well, if he was advertising, he'd be selling ginger beer. Put it that way.
No. Perm. Long, red, flowing hair with a perm.
Mm-hmm. Drinking ginger beer in his tiny whities.
Maybe.
It sells.
Maybe. But anyway. So it wore off on you. Its magical charms wore off on you.
Look, I chucked it on, I felt the vibe, and then I didn't feel the vibe because it's not 1985 anymore.
I don't know. It's amazing to me this stuff has made such a resurgence. Like thrash metal kind of died out for a while. These bands all tried to do something else. Metallica again got criticized for doing more rocky bluesy rock metal and just trying to expand the sound and going out to different areas. They did it successfully, believe it or not. Like a lot of people complain, but it brought them a bigger audience. They've never not played stadiums.
Selling out works.
Megadeth tried it. Kind of stuck in a holding pattern for quite a while, really. I imagine they're a band frustrated by never They
Like
never had the
Metallica.
great singer like James with the huge
Well,
vocal
it was
range.
so
They
weird,
never had the
simplified.
ballad.
Yeah,
They
like they
did.
had a
They did.
ballad,
They did. They did. But it just
simplified, cleaned it up, made it more stadium friendly. That's what Metallica did. They went commercial and it worked. And I think Megadeth, much like his style, just stayed the same. Just kept getting the perm
no,
album after album.
you're talking out your ass there because they did songs like Breed Pan. What's the song? Breadline. Ah, yeah, great song, great melody. Should have been a big hit, but it just didn't quite hit the mark on the radio for some reason. Didn't become as big a song as perhaps they'd wanted it to be. But awesome song, Kill the King. Another fantastic song around that era. But they tried with songs like Euthanasia was an album where they attempted, but it just, yeah, sung fantastic songs on Euthanasia. That's such a good record.
You should have picked
Train
that
of
one.
Consequences.
Why of all
You might have had a better
why
time
of
with
all
that
the
one.
Megadeths did you pick this one?
This is my first Megadeth. Really, for a long time, the big two Megadeth albums was Peace Sells, But Who's Buying and Rust in Peace. This is the one I got first. This is the one I just kind of like because it's shorter and there's just no fluff. Like everything's great, in my opinion.
How were you introduced to it?
Just saw them in magazines and heard, I listened to Metallica first and then I read the magazine articles all saying about this whole Megadeth rivalry and I just wanted to check it out and I got it and I went, oh, good fucking album.
Did you buy a little cassette tape?
Was a little cassette tape. I've talked about this before. I used to get speed metal, thrash metal records and high speed dub them. Listen to this is the one I used to high speed dub. Used to do it over and over again. And on high speed dub, this sounds even better. You can get through the whole album in like 20 minutes. Even better. It's just like a shot of heroin right in the bum.
All right then. Yeah, sweet. Well, yeah, I don't think you've made me a Megadeth fan. I keep waiting for the one band you're going to, well, probably more than one, because we've been doing this for so long now, where I'm just like, holy fuck. I wish I'd started listening to these guys earlier. But Megadeth, nah. To be fair, I don't think post this week I'll be revisiting Peace Sells, Who's Buying.
Sounds to me like you actually had a more positive experience to it than I thought you would, because I thought you'd be like 30 seconds in and fuck this shit.
No, not at all. Not at all. I enjoy a good bit of 80s, like 80s metal. I kind of enjoy. I do enjoy. I don't enjoy like 2000s metal and all that sort of stuff as much.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. That's awesome. What's wrong with that?
Slipknot, all that stuff. Nah, not doing it. I'll give you a little bit of new metal, man. I love some Korn and, Limp Bizkit. I think they're well underrated. I think they deserve more.
What? You're always giving them shit.
Joy. But that's about it. Oh, Rage, but that's not metal, is it? It's like rock rap. But yeah, I love the 80s. It's kind of nostalgic. I just remember you remember you used to be able to get magazines from the, I guess you'd call it the magazine store. What were they called? They were like Metal Hammer and all that sort of shit, and you'd see all the metal bands and you'd get your little posters you could stick on the wall. I loved that shit. Poison, I suppose they were hair metal, not metal. But yeah, so chucking this on, I was like, all right, I'm here for this, but not for as long as the album lasted.
38 minutes of it.
But you started talking about the resurgence of metal in the young generation. Do you think that's all because of Stranger Things and Master of Puppets?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
I don't know. Is there a ghost in your house?
Oh, I accidentally hit play on Spotify. I was just looking over the song numbers there and
Oh, good thing it
started
wasn't
playing a song and I couldn't hear anything you
gay
said.
porn.
Ah,
All I heard was grunting.
oh, like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you saying? Back on track.
I completely forgotten because you brought up gay porn. So,
Resurgence of heavy metal.
yes. Do you think
Like,
that was because of Stranger Things and Master Puppets?
I think it's happened before. Like Megadeth, Metallica were very gracious and did the big four, where they got the big thrash metal bands Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, and Anthrax, and they did a tour. And I think that helped the other guys out a bit.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, but it seems like these bands are doing better than they have in quite a long time now. Slayer, of course, knocked it on the head.
Slayer. Man,
But,
I couldn't name one riff of Slayers.
one riff, one song,
Oh, you know, one song. I had no idea. Never heard them, I don't think.
War Ensemble. Oh, Dead Skin Mask. Oh, glory days.
All right, maybe a future episode. But for you, this album is a high repeat.
I repeat,
haven't
haven't listened to it in a while, but listen to it every now and then. And this week, listening to this, I had a fabulous time. Wonderful, wonderful time. I think for you, like you'd probably, if you tried out Redline and Kill the King and a few songs like that, you might start getting into it a bit. A Tout Le Monde, maybe.
So this is just the tip, was it?
I think you might have just got the tip. It's just sort of slid around the lips. Just
right.
Starting to edge its way in, and you're like, oh, no, I shouldn't.
It's just in and around my mouth. Well, look.
Oh, no, stop. You like that?
I think maybe if this had hit at another time, or if I stuck with it and kept listening to it over and over again like you do with an album that you really dig, it would get in and get under the skin and you'd be, Megadeth.
Yeah, I think it's complex music. You had to give it a few listens to get going into it. But yeah, when I was a kid, I was really
simpleton. So
you are a simpleton. So for me though, this is something I liked instantly, but I was sort of really into the thrash metal vibe at the time. And
you know what the best fucking thing is about Megadeth before we run out of time? Is the goddamn album covers. These motherfuckers know how to put on a show on a record bit of imagery.
They know how to do an album cover is probably what you're trying to say.
That is what I said.
And you started talking about putting on a show.
I don't know. Would you? Look,
yeah,
it's late.
Vic Rattlehead. Marketing. Like it was a thing. It was pretty much a clone of, I guess, of Iron Maiden's Eddie the Ed. Not perhaps not the most original thing in the world, but did the trick.
Yeah. All right, better rate this motherfucker before we run out of time.
I'm giving this 7 shots of heroin. No, 9 shots of heroin in honor of Dave. Yeah, it is drug past.
Oh, is there a bit of a drug past? All right. Look,
huge.
Huge. I'll be more generous than I think I should be. And I'm going to give it, because I'm not going to ramble, 6 big black cocks out of 10.
Yeah.
There you go. Even though I got bored and it petered out, it's high entertainment for 80s metal.
I was expecting a 2, to be honest.
Well,
I have to say, a 6 from Brad is kind of like a 9 for a normal person. Like someone who's not quite a miserable fucking cunt, you know. It's
right,
high praise.
You said that, fuck
high
you.
Praise.
Now it's just 5 white cocks out of 10. It's losing points.
There's no take backsies. Like you're not going to slip down to 3 Asians.
Overly hairy white cocks. It's got a big untrimmed bush.
2.5 Asian cocks out of 10.
And a little fucking bend to the left.
A little banana.
Just a little curve to hit the spot.
Whoa. Drives the
Yeah,
ladies crazy. Oh, well, another perfect episode.
as
Oh,
always.
fantastic.
Uh huh.
Okay.
Would you
Well,
would you say you're recommending this to our listeners?
yeah. Yeah. Man up. Megadeth. Roar.
Go get a perm, everybody.
Yeah, get a perm. Do I hear
Add some volume to your life.
Red? It's you can tell a well a woman by the way she wears her hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Wonderful.